live from Studio 1A, Rockefeller Plaza.
What's going on, brothers?
Hey. We're live.
All right, looks like we're live, guys. So, hey, guys, welcome to another episode of ProSeller Talk. My guests today are none other than the comical team of Lance, Wolf, and Barrington McIntosh. I've known Barrington and Lance for several years now, and let me tell you, these guys are the real deal. I'm real excited to have them here. I followed them around. They followed me around. We kind of joke. We've been to trade shows and all kinds of things together. So I'm really excited about you guys to be able to hear what these guys have to say. Like I said, when it comes to fourth quarter, these guys are the real deal. They know a lot. They have a lot of knowledge. They've done it. They've walked the walk. They've walked the talk. People that you want to listen to. I'm real proud to call them, partners and friends. Got to know them and their families. And Lance, congratulations. I'm going to say it on the air. Got married. I don't know how he finally got off the hook and got married, but he did. So congratulations.
Woohoo!
So again, guys, welcome, and let you run with the show.
All right, thank you so much, John, for having us on. Again, guys, everyone on here live, welcome to the MIT webinar series. And tonight we're going to talk about the time of year that we're already started. I think we're 10 days into that time. I know you guys have a lot of questions, and we want to take your questions. But first of all, we want to just give you some excitement, just to give you a little bit more information as to why we think that this time of year is the most lucrative time that you could have in your FBA business. And we're going to put up some tips as to how you can make the most of it. But what we want you to do, we want to hear from you. So we're going to talk for about 30-35 minutes, and then we want to start taking your questions. We want you guys to tell us what are some of the things that you see as challenges, some of the things that we can help with, and whatever way that we can help, we are going to have you on. So first of all, I see a lot of people on here in the chat room. Just give us a quick shout out. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. This should be all over the world. So just give us a quick check-in to say, hey, where you guys are checking in from. Bob Willett, I see you all here.
Let's see how many people that this will be their first Q4. I'm just kind of curious for those who haven't experienced it yet.
Oh, that's good. Lance just said, if it's your first Q4, put it in there as well. Put it in the chat box so we can see.
Then I can talk a little bit about my first Q4 and what I went through.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so the reason I was wondering that is because if you've never sold toys, or if you've never, had an opportunity to go out around Q4, one of the biggest products obviously is toys, because people are, mothers are giving their kids that toy that they've always wanted. And believe it or not, grocery items is another big seller around Christmas time. And I learned that because me and Barrington networked at Jim Cochran's conference years ago. But I remember my first Q4. I went out, and this is when I finally discovered that you could actually sell toys, because I was one of the old school booksellers. I used to scan products at book sales and libraries, and they started making more software where you could actually scan toys too. So when I found out about that, I was just like really, really excited. And the first year I went out, I hit some Ollie's Bargain Outlet, some Walmarts, Targets, and I started hitting all the board games, and I was finding all kinds of Legos and different toys, and it just exploded. I couldn't believe it. I think the first Q4 I did maybe 20,000 profit, and that's with not having the tools that we have nowadays. We have all these Q4 groups. We have the mobile groups. We have a lot more information than what was given to me back then. In fact, when I first started, my first Q4, I still remember my dad was helping me. I was living at home at the time with my parents, and I had a stack of orders this high because there was no FBA. There actually was FBA, but I didn't trust it. I was like, there's no way I mess this up if I send them all my inventory. So I remember my dad and I just fighting and getting these orders out, and it was so stressful. But the orders were just piled to the sky. And once I found out about FBA, it was like the biggest relief in the world that I was able to send everything to them and let them handle it. But if this is your first year, the reason I asked that, I want to encourage you that you can really do a lot, but you have to take advantage of this time and get involved in some of the groups that people have out there, or some of the mastermind groups that you can get involved with that are free.
Hey, Lance, really quickly, he said your sound was coming through a bit choppy. I don't know if you want to kind of just like log off and then just log back in real quick, because they say your sound was coming in a bit choppy.
Did they hear anything? How about I take my headphones off? Maybe that'll be better.
Let's see.
Is that better?
Hold on.
How's that? Can you hear me, Barrington?
I can hear you, but it's kind of choppy at the end. It's kind of like, it's kind of choppy at the end. So I'm not sure if it's the same thing that they're experiencing.
Yeah. Well, let me just log off and then I'll come back in with you guys.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay, great. Is everyone else hearing me in the audience? Just give me a quick check-in. Are you hearing me okay? I just, stop my video because I'm thinking we don't want to pull all the bandwidth. So are you hearing me okay? Give me a check-in quickly in the chat room. Okay, excellent. Okay, Lance, if you could just log off real quick and just log back in. I'll just, continue talking about Q4 and, why I believe this is the time. Okay, excellent. Thank you, guys. All right. Now, I just stopped my video just to make sure that we stay clear, but you guys can still hear me. But, for Q4, it's really about, if it's not your first Q4, one of the biggest things I think you should be looking at now is, if this is not your first, I'm going to talk about if it's your first Q4, what to do, what are some things to look for. But if this is not your first Q4, what you want to do is you want to log into your Amazon account and you want to run a report. And this report is in your back office under business reports. And you want to run the report of what you did last year. So you're now going to be trying to find out what items sold well for you from October 1st to December 31st, 2015. That is the quickest way to figure out where you need to be right now. So you run that report on the business reports, and if you guys want to write this down, I can pretty much just, run through it really quickly with you. If you want to write this down, because this is something that I really want you to go out there and take action. We're not just here talking, and then not doing anything about it. We want you to do something. When you get off this call tonight, you need to have action points, some things that you're going to jump out at really quickly. So what I wanted you to do is to go into your Amazon account and run this particular report. It's under business reports. Hopefully you're hearing me fine. Are you guys still following me? Everything is okay? Because this is important. I need you to get this information. So are you still following me? Is everything okay? Want you guys to, just let me know that you are still hearing me. Everything is fine. So what you need to do is to run this report that is under, and you log into your Amazon back office, you have, you go to your seller account, then you go to reports, business reports, and your sales report. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do an edit and kind of change where you want the parameters to be. And the parameters that we're trying to work with here is last year's information. So we run into our Amazon accounts, and I like to do real-time stuff that you can take action on, not just talk. We always, as Lance said, we pull the curtain back. We want you to take action on the things that we're telling you. So you jump into your account, back office, go to reports, and then business reports. So if everybody's there right now, reports, business reports. All right. Under, you have three functions on the left of it. It should be business reports by date, by ASIN, or other. You want to go under the first option by ASIN, and that's detailed page sales and traffic. That's the report I want you guys to run. And if it's your first Q4, not to worry, we have tips for you as well. But if it's somebody that's coming back to Q4 again, under the by ASIN, click on the report that says detailed page sales and traffic. And under that report, we want you to go over to your extreme right. And to your extreme right, there's going to be an option from and a to. So what we want you to do is to edit the dates and pull it back to October 1st, 2015 to, and then you're going to change that to box to December 31st, 2015. Well, when you run it first, it might just run, but that's okay. Just go back and change it to December 31st, 2015. And once you filter those, it's going to give you information on that page that tells you the items that were selling well for you last year. And these are the items that you want to go and find again. You want to figure out, where did I find those products? Was that a Target? Was that a Walmart? Was that a Best Buy? Was that a Ollie's? Was that a Five Below? Tuesday morning, wherever, even in your own era, wherever you are in the world, figure out where you got those products and if you can buy more of them. And these are the products that you want to start looking at right now for Q4. Because when you get these items back into Amazon, your chances of success are going to be huge. Because what happens is, if you know that these products are ones that have worked over and over every year, and you start getting these products back into Amazon's fulfillment center, then you know that, hey, my chances of success are going to be great because these are good holiday items. If it was just a one-off item that you found at a thrift store, it may not be. But if this is item something that you can buy over and over and it's a replenishable item, this is the best way to start doing your homework. Running this report under business reports, detail page, sales and traffic, and look at the products that you sold well last year. So this is the first take-home tip. This is something that you need to, as soon as you get off this webinar, go ahead and run this report and figure these products out. And what we always do is we look at the top, like let's say the top 20 or top 50, because we want to see what were the items that were really moving. You can do this by ordered product sales. So you can come down and say, hey, I'm looking at right now, this particular product we sold $16,468. Do you think I'm going to be trying to find more of these items? Of course, because we sold 16,000 of this one SKU. $16,000 worth of this one SKU last Q4. So we're going to be looking for that. So that's what you want to do. For persons who are newer to Amazon FBA, if this is your first if this is your first Q4, what you want to do is you want to be networking with others who have done this before. You want your learning curve to be as short as possible. You don't want to be learning all of this by yourself. And what we have learned, myself and Lance, is that when you network with other people who have done it before, they'll help you to just, not just be like, oh, I have to go do all trial and error by myself. I can be figuring this out way, way, way ahead of the game. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go back to Lance, and he's going to talk about, what he went through his first Q4. So this lends nicely into persons who are doing this for the first time. And also what you want to do is listen to ways that you can be able to figure out, oh, I can do the same thing, or these are some of the things that I can do. So Lance, once you jump back in here and just kind of give them an idea of what happened your first Q4.
Can you hear me clearly now, Barrington?
Oh man, crystal like
all
the
right,
water.
we're back in the game.
Let's do this.
Yeah, so my first Q4, it was a long time ago. I got to think back. I've been doing this 10 years. But the first 3 years was probably more books and stuff. And then I started getting into toys later. So I can't really count the first, year of doing this because it was mostly books. But when you hop into the retail stores, that's when it really explodes. And my best advice, just from mistakes that I've made doing this, is I would get started now. Start checking end caps, start checking stores. They're getting their product out. I've been to Big Lots, I've been to Walmart, I've been to a couple stores, and they don't have the big Christmas displays, but they're starting to bring out products slowly, just because the retail stores want to see how those products move, and then they can put in bigger orders. So I would definitely just do the work. It's something where you got to put the work in. You got to scan everything. That's one of the biggest problems that people have. They think that they're just going to sit back and everything's going to come to them. But if you go out and you put the work in and you keep hitting the stores, there's no real magic to this. You just have to go out and get your eyeballs on a lot of different products. That's what I found, and from my experience of doing this so long.
Yeah, and the great thing about this too, Lance, is when you go out there and you do the work, the big box stores, they kind of give you a lot of information as to what's going to really take off. because they did their homework. They spent the hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing. They don't want to have all these items sitting in the stores and they're not selling. So they're going to give you a lot of information. And this comes in very nicely with bundles, because with bundles, you will see them start bundling items together where you can say, if Walmart's putting these together, maybe I can put these together and also sell it on Amazon. So look for items that you see in these big box stores, the Target, the Walmart. Look at these items, and also build great relationships with the store managers. That's something that you really want to do. Build great relationships with the store managers. Now, I mean, Lance, in terms of going through Q4, what do you do in in terms of your haul, in terms of what stores do you look at first, in terms of what do you scan? If it doesn't scan, just kind of give persons information on this kind of stuff.
Well, maybe I'll talk a little bit about, so Black Friday, I know the trend now is everybody goes out on Thursday now. For me, just personally, I like to enjoy the holiday and relax. But I do go out on Friday, and if you don't scoop up all the deals right away in the morning, don't worry, they're going to run them all day long, because believe me, they want people to come to the stores all day. And me and Junior, John Jr., we always send, we have a group where we're all with the Mastermind 8, the MM8, and we send texts back and forth the whole Q4 season about products that we're finding. And most of the time we've done the best on like a Friday night as opposed to in the morning of Black Friday. So be persistent. Don't worry if you miss all the deals on Black Friday. And I'm getting ahead of myself in case you guys have never been out. Obviously, that's one of the best days to get out there. That whole weekend, as a matter of fact, is one of the best times to just load up on Q4 inventory. You can spend, unlimited money. It depends on how much credit you got, how much money you got. You could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially if you're running with teams. But if you don't have a team, you don't have everything set, it's not too late. Believe me, it's definitely not too late. I know people are probably scared a little bit about restrictions. Oh, Hasbro's restricted, this is restricted, but there's millions and millions of products out there. And if you're worried about that, just go out and scan. A lot of the applications now are telling you what's restricted, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. As far as my strategy, I like to really hammer the Walmarts that Black Friday weekend. And if I have time to make it to Big Lots and some of the other places, I go there as well. So I would really take advantage of Walmart. Obviously, they have the most buying power, so you're going to have a lot of good deals.
Yeah, and what I like about it is, even if you're from somewhere you're not in the US, if you have a team of persons who are on the ground in the US, they can tell you what's happening. They'll tell you what's going well, what's selling well. And this is amazing, because it's a perfect scenario here with me and Lance. I am living in Jamaica. I am in Jamaica. So let's say on a weekend, I'm like, I'm gone with the kids. I'm maybe gone to the beach or something. And then I see a call coming in from my FaceTime, which says Lance Wolf. And then he says, where are you? I say, hey, I'm out taking with the kids and, doing some stuff. He's like, listen, you have to hop on Walmart.com or I'm going to buy everything. Listen, this particular product, I'm ordering tons of this product right now. You have to order. So I'll jump on and I'll order. And as soon as we both put in the orders, Walmart, it's like you can't order anymore. That's it. That's what they have right now. So building a team of other persons that are telling you what's happening is one of the best things that you can do, hands down, for Q4, because you will never know all the deals. But if you have a team saying, hey, we went to Walmart, this is here. And the first question some persons might wonder, why would I want to tell others what I'm buying? That's ridiculous. Because there is no way for you to supply Amazon's hungry buyers throughout Q4. Just absolutely no way. If Amazon is unable to do that, as third-party sellers, we will never be able to satisfy all of Amazon's customers during the holiday season. Amazon will send us emails saying, hey, you need to stock up because the busy buying season is coming. They will even send us money to purchase inventory. So we know this is going to be huge. So we have to be prepared. And that's one of the biggest things. You'll run out of money before you run out of deals to buy. And then when all these toys start to get popular and all of that, you want to know what's happening, because as I mentioned, it's first to market. It's the one that can buy, prep, and ship to Amazon the quickest. That's going to be first to market. That's what you have to do. You have to really move on these deals very, very quickly. And if you're abroad, you can do online arbitrage where you can buy the products online, ship it to a fulfillment center. And John is the perfect person to have on here. Ship
Oh
it to a
yeah.
fulfillment center, and then they can send it to FBA, or you could go ahead and have them, merchant fulfill the order for you.
John, do you have any more information on what you were telling me about, or you're not going to roll that out yet? I don't want to jump the gun with the fulfillment, where you're going to do the FBM, fulfillment by merchant, where they send the product to you.
Yeah, we've already rolled that out. I mean,
Okay.
we're opening it up for a very limited time because of the Amazon situation and what's going on there. But yeah, the nice thing about this, and like what Lance and Barrington are talking about, is always evolving, and we've evolved to the point where wall, and we've talked about this many times, that you don't put all your apples in one basket in Amazon. So we built our software to be able to handle e-commerce as long as it's been on Amazon or it's able to sell on Amazon. We can e-commerce fill anything from any website. Doesn't matter if it's Walmart, your own website, eBay. If it's something that's been on Amazon or it's something on Amazon now, our software is able to handle it, and we can e-commerce fill those for anything.
Excellent.
That's awesome, man.
Excellent.
Also, I was thinking about I know Junior Merchant fulfills a lot, towards the end, because you don't have time to send it into Amazon. Can't we send it to you now, put it in a box and send it to you, or did I mistaken that?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Yeah, but I was going to go back to what you were talking about while we're waiting for John to come back. As far as having a group, I've been doing this 10 years, and there's absolutely no way that if somebody says they're an expert and they know every product, they're probably lying, because there's so many products out there. And when we first did the MMA group, Barrington, remember the mobile groups when we first got started?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was so critical of that, because I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to tell these guys that I just met, all the stuff I'm finding, and it's going to screw it up for me because I'm going to send it in and they're going to be on the same listing. But it probably tripled my business, just because I would be at a Walmart and I would get a message from Ken saying, hey, go to Kmart. There's some Strategos, or there's some board games over there that you can get your hands on. So I would not even know Walmart if it wasn't for that. Hey, John, you're back.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, we just blanked out off a webinar jam for a second. I don't know what that is.
We kept the party rolling for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, and my chat's not up right now, so I really don't know what's going on. Oh, there it goes. Thanks, guys, with that.
No problem.
So what was your question again before we cut out?
So I was talking
about the merchant.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing as e-commerce. I mean, merchant filled e-commerce, it's all the same thing. We're merchant filling it, right? All we're doing, instead of sending it to Amazon and having them fulfill it FBA, we're basically filling that void for you, and we're merchant fulfilling that items from Amazon, or like I said, any website. So it's kind of the same type of thing, only I guess you would call it, merchant fulfilling for Amazon, but it's sort of what we do for e-commerce too. So basically the same thing. You're not sending it to FBA, but to answer your question, short and sweet, yes, we can do that.
That's awesome, man. And that's a lot quicker turnaround time when you're coming up on December 18th. I'd rather send it to you than trust Amazon's warehouses around that time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's something that we're able to stay ahead of the curve, which we have been, and we're able to develop our software. The other thing that's exciting for us is that Amazon's coming out with their box content thing, where you actually have to have all your contents in the box accounted for per box. And again, that's something our software we've already implemented. We're beta testing right now. And again, that was something we saw coming up, and we have it now. ScanPower has something that they've created, an app, but this thing is much more in detail, and for us, it's a lot easier for our clients to be able to use.
Excellent stuff, man. It's and I think a lot of persons will have questions later on in the webinar about Amazon's new policy change. I think it was yesterday. So what you just mentioned is the actual solution for persons who first Q4 never sent anything to FBA before October 10th. Amazon is now saying, okay, well, you can't send until December 19th. So, but you can still sell on Amazon, but you have to fulfill your own orders. So I know that maybe questions coming up on that. So I just wanted to jump on, that topic really quickly to say, hey, they are not saying you cannot sell on Amazon. They're only saying, hey, based on our space, based on how many sellers we have, and based on what we're anticipating to come into our warehouses, we want your newer sellers, if you didn't send anything to Amazon FBA before October 10th, we are going to restrict you from creating shipments to send in. That's not saying you cannot sell. You have to fill the orders yourself. And, it's going to be very, very interesting what happens here because, merchant fulfill is a strategy that we apply during Q4 because that everything cannot get to Amazon and checked in all on time. So what we do is we sell a lot of merchant fulfill items. So don't look at this as something negative. Just see it as, hey, I can still sell. I'm going to run with this. I'm going to make the best of, because all it's saying is if you get an order, it says sold, ship now, you have to go pack the box yourself and send it directly to the customer. That's all they're saying. That's it.
Hey, Barrington, if you don't mind, I know you just said a bunch, but if you want to, this is a good question from Edward. It's not really a question. He's just excited, and he's letting people know that he's from Cambodia. And you're the international king. And some people internationally might think, hey, is this for me? I don't have Walmarts. I don't have Targets. Do you have any good advice for him?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, as I mentioned before, the biggest thing that you want to do is build relationships for this holiday season, because even if you're not, the funny thing is we can just go right back. I can remember your presentation, Lance, and what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Lincoln Town Prairie Logs, and I had zero clue as to what those were. All I needed to know was that they're profitable and where I could get them to buy. I didn't know because Lance already knew all of that. He knows Q4 because of going it over and over and over again. So aligning yourself with others who have been through it, I think, is the biggest step that you can make for the holiday season. Because what happens is they already know what's going to sell. And they're willing to say, hey, this is what's moving. So he just has to tell me, hey, go on Walmart, purchase XYZ SKU, send it in, or send it to me and I'll prep it and send it to Amazon. So it's all about thinking creatively and not thinking, oh, the world is done. Oh, man, this is horrible. No, think creatively. Wherever you are in the world, this can work for you. But you have to align yourself with other persons who are creative, who are thinking positively, and not just like, oh, man, the world is ended and, I can't do this. It's never going to work. That's the first sign that, it's not really going to work for you. You have to have a positive mindset and a positive attitude for this to really work for you.
When you say that, believe me, the world isn't really ending, because doing this for 10 years, Amazon, one thing that's guaranteed, they're going to change. Every year, every quarter, something's going to happen where it's going to knock your socks off. They're going to change. I've been doing private label for a while now. I'm still doing retail arbitrage, but I'm probably 80% of my business is in private label. And when they started tweaking the reviews and certain things that you couldn't do with that really scared me. But you know what? You got to think of the opportunity. It's going to even the playing field. If you listen to Ryan Rieger talking about that on him and John and Jenny's group, the private label mentoring program, they're actually excited about it, about how it's going to level the field. And a guy like me that was doing $400,000 or $500,000 a month in private label recently, I'm really worried. I want to keep those numbers up. So it's not something you got to be scared of. You can still keep doing it.
Yeah. It's all about thinking positively. All of these things are going to happen, but you need to figure out, hey, what's the, people who have a positive mindset, what are they doing? That's it, because they're not stopping. They're not like, okay, well, I'm going to quit selling on Amazon. Nope, you're never going to see that. They're going to figure out ways and creative ways to get around this. And it's not get around like being negative, but you're going to figure out creative solutions to the problem.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's always a solution, because look, you go on Amazon and you see all these people selling. Of course, there's a solution, or Amazon would go out of business. You just have to be the one that doesn't give in to the barriers and finds a way to succeed.
Hey guys, I just want to chime in a little bit about that subject too. And we're all talking about Amazon. It was so conditioned on Amazon. And I get that. And even with your Q4 program that you guys are doing, we're losing track of the fact that there's other marketplaces in fourth quarter. eBay is a tremendous marketplace for fourth quarter. It's one of the best other than Amazon to be able to sell product on. And I think we're losing track of that. And if you have fulfillment centers that you can send it to, that'll send those items out to your customers, you're really missing a vital opportunity to be able to increase your income while this is happening at Amazon. Don't just think of Amazon. Think out of the box here, guys, and think of what else you could be doing besides Amazon that's going to help you supplement your income while Amazon is doing what they're doing. And the other part about that is, yes, Amazon is closing off to new FBA sellers, but for the reasons a lot of you are probably not aware of. It's not because Amazon's warehouses are getting full. Yes, that is part of it, but a big part of it is that so many people are coming on and want to sell on Amazon that Amazon cannot build these buildings fast enough to provide for
exactly right.
hitting them. So it's more of a building and construction type issue as well as cutting them off because it's fourth quarter and they just can't handle it because of the inventory in their places. They're not building fast enough. They're growing faster than they anticipated, and it's caused a real problem.
Yep. So, you know, they just figured the best thing right now to stem the bleeding is just to say, hey, we cannot accept any shipments from new FBA sellers if you didn't send a shipment in before October 10th until December 19th. And December 19th is really when, you know, the peak of the Q4 sales are coming to an end, and you know, you're just getting inventory in now. But you know, we are also going to be talking about what to do after Q4, not just like a Q4 and then, well, it's done, that's it. We always talk about what to do after Q4. So guys, what you want to do is, as mentioned earlier, if you're a newer FBA seller, first FBA, never sent any, and even if it's your first Q4, if you send a shipment into Amazon before October 10th, you're good to go to send products into FBA. You're fine. It's just if you have not sent any shipments into Amazon prior to October 10th, then they don't want you to send anything in. They're going to restrict you until December 19th. But you can still sell merchant fulfilled products. List the product on Amazon and put the quantity that you have on hand in there. And once you make a sale, they will collect the funds from the customer, but you have to go ahead and ship that product directly to the customer. So you're going to use a UPS or USPS, whatever the courier, but you are going to be responsible to get it to the customer, I think within 48 hours, right, Lance? Now, in terms of products, Lance, what are some of the things, you know, in general that moves well during the holiday season?
You know what, the best thing for me, not the best thing, but one of the things I've learned recently is that lights sell really well, Christmas lights. It's something that I never dove into until the last 2 years. It's just common sense. You think Christmas, okay, people want Christmas lights. And the market isn't saturated yet with lights. There's not like a million listings, and a lot of people would just pass them up when they come into Walmart. I like to really kill the lawn and garden section. That's where you'll find that kind of stuff.
Don't say
inflatable.
it.
He's like, I'm already giving away the trick.
Lance, don't tell him about the inflatables. Don't do it.
Okay, you know what? We can't talk about it. No inflatable talk. Everybody's all excited now. That means they're going to get out and get them more. So those two alone that I just told you, and they're on my list, so it's not a secret. They're on the list for the proven Q4 plan. If you guys went ahead and dove into that, that's really a powerful list. I mean, you could probably make 30 grand off 2 items on that list.
And that's it. And what kind of returns do you look for, Lance, coming to the end of the year? What's your normal Q4 haul profit?
Always no less than 40,000. And the
profit.
last year, I wasn't even, my heart wasn't 100% because I was really heavily involved in the Q4 groups and helping people out. I've done up to 40 to 80,000 in a Christmas season.
Profit.
And I'm doing private label too now, so it's not like I'm 100% into it. This is just going out, really hitting Black Friday hard. If you go out on 8 or 9 hardcore trips where you fill your car up, I would recommend renting a cargo van. But it takes about 8 to 10 trips to make you 20 to 30,000. If you really want this, you can do it.
I like that, Lance. That's precise. You are telling them that, hey, 8 or 9 full cargo vans, could make you a profit of $20,000 to $30,000,
and that's
depending on the
conservative.
item.
That's very conservative.
And
I would
that's
say
depending on the items that you buy as well. So, I mean, guys, we're
Yeah.
getting real deal. We don't like to, just give you information and then we're kind of like guiding you in the wrong way. We're taking the door off the hinge. It's like totally exposed. That's what we do. And we've seen that works over and over and over again. And it's never a reason where, it's saturated. And I told people. So, I mean, every year I talk about the Kitty Beat drum sets. And I've never seen a seller been able to keep that product in stock during Q4. If Amazon runs out, everybody runs out. And, there's a peak time for 2 weeks where you can make at least $20, $18 to $20 on each one. So it's just about knowing. It's about you've done it before, you know what's going to happen, and you just follow the trends.
It's funny. A question just popped up here, Barrington, from Pierre Michael.
Hang on, before you answer that, Lance, let me just touch on that a little bit. As far as Black Friday, we all know Black Friday is now becoming Black Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Black Week.
So it's not like it used to be where they pound you on Black Friday alone, which is kind of good because they spread it out. And a lot of people won't go those extra days and take the time to go. They'll only go on Black Friday. So what does that do for you? It gives you an opportunity to have more inventory on those other days that someone that's not going to do the work and the labor is not going to go out and want to do that. And I'm going to give you guys an inside secret here that you might want to write this down in blood because this is something that is very factual and has been very profitable for, I know, Barrington. Lance is a master at it. And I know we're really good at it, and we're talking about merchant fulfilled now. Amazon's not allowing you to send things in if you're new after, October 10th. We all saw that. But if you're merchant fulfilling, guess what? You merchant fulfill it, you get that stuff into Amazon before the FBA sellers, because now what happens, Amazon is taking longer and longer to process those things into their warehouse from FBA sellers that they may not sell it as quickly as you can merchant selling. So what are you doing? You're beating FBA people to the punch, and you're also avoiding the race to the bottom if too many people get on the listing and get saturated. I know I'm excited about it, but it's something you should get excited about because year in and year out, and let me tell you, it's very profitable and it's very satisfying when you can get your product there, get your price, and get out before FBA gets theirs there.
I'm excited too.
That's it, John. That's huge. That's a
it.
tip. That's a goal. We could end the webinar right now. We could just come off the webinar. I'm telling you, that's huge. That's big. Because think about it. You're able to get the product from store to you could be in the store at 12 o'clock, list the product, sold. You get out the store, you take it directly to the UPS store, you make that shipment. Your customer will get it in 2 to 3 days. Think about it. The FBA guy has to pack, send it to Amazon. In 3 to 4 days, he's still not even in the fulfillment centers yet, while you already satisfied your customer. Rinse and repeat. Really
huge, and we've done it, and it's amazing. John will go out with Cassie, and they'll be in the stores, and they'll list it from the stores, and before it even gets back to our warehouse, we're shipping out sold.
And I can tell you, John and Barrington, right around December 17th, 16th, 18th, every item, it seems like that I go to, 80% of the sellers are on back order. And when you're fulfilling it yourself, guess what? You got it now. You're ready to ship it out.
Ready to go.
I hope you guys are
and you can price.
I hope the audience is really listening to that, because what we just gave them could put thousands and thousands of dollars in their pocket in fourth quarter.
Love it.
Or you guys could be too lazy and not do it.
So, there we go. We just dispelled all the fears about, I'm a new seller and I can't believe I can't ship to FBA. That's out the door. We're ready to rock and roll, because you can get your items way quicker to the customers than if I was going to send it to FBA.
Yes. You have any crazy stories, Senior, about Q4 when you guys? I remember that Big Lot story where you guys you must have hit 40 of them when you guys traveled around.
Yeah, there's too many. I just think that, and then the other thing is, let's throw it out there for people. You know what? If somebody asks, if you're in the store and you're in fear because you're filling 20 carriages and stuff like that, and somebody comes up to you, well, they got fear. I mean, some people are embarrassed to do it. You should never be, but if you're embarrassed and somebody comes up to you and say, hey, what do you do for a living? Say, you know what? Say, I get paid to shop. Just tell them I get paid to shop. I can't tell you how many times people came up to Esther and myself and said, hey, where do I get a job like that? And I said, well, they're not hiring right now, but I can take your information and get back to you. And the funny thing is, we're the ones doing the hiring, but they don't know that.
You know what, John? That excuse will work over and over again. If I know some people like to come clean and you don't know anything to anybody, and it's just going to waste your time. Somebody's going to hold you up for 20, 30 minutes. They might be nice. It might be a friendly conversation, but you just lost $500. Somebody comes up to you. I love that excuse. That's perfect.
Yeah, and I see Bob Willie talking about gifts, and I'm going to give this out there. I know people probably don't want to hear it. And I don't know if you can do it anymore, but man, I can tell you year after year, Starbucks, we would sell Starbucks gift sets. We would merchant fulfill those things out of the stores before they even ever hit the warehouse.
Boom, done. Love it.
I'm actually thinking about adding a
All the
complimentary
golden
product.
nuggets we're giving them.
Oh man, yeah. With the gift sets, I'm thinking about maybe putting a complimentary product with it this year, so you have your own listing. People are starting to find out too much about them, so sometimes you can find ways around it.
So I think we're up on 15 minutes. So John, if you could start pulling some of the questions, we're gonna get some of these questions in up to the top of the hour.
All right. Well, we kind of answered a lot of them because Mary Jo says, awesome. This was my question. Isn't it possible to get a product to a customer just as quick? And we answered that.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions in here? I'm trying to scroll through to see. How do you check if a product is restricted when you do OA?
I would just try to list it. If you're doing OA, it's perfect. You already got your computer up. You got Amazon up. Just hop on Amazon and try to list it. See if it's restricted, right? Maybe I'm missing something.
All right. I think you answered. Maybe you didn't. Tim put my question. I went out yesterday and found a couple of RA items that would be adequate, profitable, but I don't know if they. He just went away on me. Somebody just jumped. Okay. I don't know if they are selling on Amazon and therefore worth sending in. I know that I should be looking at sales rank, but what is a good sales rank? I think sales rank is overrated personally, but you guys can go on that.
Well, Tim, I would also look at reviews. If nobody's reviewing it, there's a chance that there's not a lot of sales, and maybe that sales rank might have been not good information. I like to look at reviews, and the thing that you can do when you go to Amazon, click on the stars, and then go to recent, and see how many recent reviews came in, and that shows that there's recent purchases. And you can also see if it's a good product. As far as sales rank, what's the rule, Barrington? I think it's 5% of that category.
Yeah, 5% general. Mm-hmm.
But I don't like to go that high. That's just so high.
We don't go any more than 1 to 3%.
1 to 3%. Yeah, 5's just really high, unless it looks like a newly launched product. Here's another good tip. Willie knows a lot of guys that have been selling on here. John, Barrington, you guys all know this. There's a lot of launch products right around Q4 because toy companies are just launching that product. It's just hitting the Walmarts, all the stores. So there might not be any rank sometimes for an item, but if it's like a Star Wars, if it's a brand name that you know is going to sell, you know there's going to be a ton of traffic, I'd still pick up a few and kind of monitor that to see if it's a good selling item. Yes, Bernard, the class is still open. I think John's got a link that he's going to give you guys for the Q4, proven Q4.
Yeah, I'll post that here in a couple of minutes for
We'll
Bernard.
do that at the end so everybody has a chance to snag them.
That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Any more questions we have? Let's see. I thought I saw some in here.
Willie's asking about an add-on for Chrome. I know John and Eric have a ton of extensions they're working on.
Yeah, and Bob's talking about the one cell. I'm familiar with that one too.
Okay.
Paula has a question here. I'm not sure if it's for me or for you guys. She says, could you please tell me what software they are referring to and also what groups they have? Now, I think they're talking about groups for you and maybe software for me. I don't know what Paula's referring to.
She's probably talking about the Q4 group, I guess. Maybe she'll write something else.
Well, if you could write something else just to clarify if you're talking about the software that I have or if you're talking about and also the groups that they have.
She could be talking about the extensions too, because I know I just brought that up. I get too excited, John. I start talking about everything.
Yeah, well, that you're Mr. Excitement. I mean, I heard you say I heard you say last year that you didn't do as well as you wanted to in fourth quarter, but we
Yeah.
all know it wasn't. We all know it wasn't because of the sales. We all know it's because Gina had you planning that wedding.
That was a lifelong event, man. I tell you what, if it wasn't for her, she did everything. I felt like such a jerk. I just showed up and got married.
But the funny thing about all of this is, I mean, like after Black Friday, whenever I call Lance, all I hear is masking tape. Tape in boxes, tape in boxes. He's just rolling out. Hey, I can't talk to you right now. I got to get these shipments out. Hey, UPS is at the door. And it's just over and over because it's all about getting your product as quickly as possible to the Amazon buyer. That is what you want to do.
And the good part, Barrington, is now it's starting to be more fun just because I've found so many different business models within Amazon, with wholesale, with private label. I was relying on that for 6 or 7 years. Talk about stress. But now this year, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be extra money.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, Lance. I may have to edit that part, man, because if Jim hears that you're touching tape, I'm not going to live that down.
Yeah, Jim doesn't like that. He's been trying forever to get my hands off that tape.
Yeah. May have to edit that part.
Yeah, you're going to have to. You didn't hear that, guys. John said Lance mentioned the Q4 product list. Does that come with the Q4 group? Yes, it does.
And Tim, okay, go ahead, Lance.
I can't remember. I think it was like $70,000 worth of sales on there. So there should be a couple that can make you 20, 30.
And I think $70,000 was probably your December numbers, Lance.
I think it was. I think it was for December. That's right. It's like I kicked myself, and why am I upset? Did 30 to 40,000 in December. I'm all upset about it.
And that's what somebody works for the whole year.
Yeah, that's why this is such a cool. It's not like I'm a rocket scientist. I just go out and scan stuff and send it into Amazon, and I couldn't do it without the groups. There's stuff that's going to be out there that you're not aware of unless you have the groups and communication with other people.
Like last year, we didn't know anything about pie face until I think after Black Friday, and then it went ballistic.
Oh my gosh, what the big product is. Believe me, every group's going to know about it. There was a question that was just on this comment thread, and somebody said, "How do I know?" or "What's going to be the big product?" Believe me, you're going to know. Everybody's going to have multiple
You're going to know.
Believe me, you're going to know it.
Last year was pie face, and I'm telling you, I went and saw, okay, pie face in the US was selling for this. I went over to the UK, was selling for the same amount in pounds. Man, you know where I sent my pie face.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Paula, the software I was referring to, senior son, John Jr., and one of his business partners, Eric, they've created software where you can tell how many products that the other sellers have in stock. So if you buy something and you see the low baller has like 500 in stock, you can pretty much pass up on that product because it's going to take them forever to sell out.
And also,
they got a couple of extensions that been working real close with Steve Deaton and Jim that actually they're going to be launching through
really
Jim
good
Clark
ones
real shortly.
I mean, these are pulling the curtain back, top level extensions.
And what I like about these extensions is, let's say you want to check what I like. Perfect example. 1Q4, I was looking at this particular seller because they were, hopping on the products that I was selling. So I'm saying, okay, let me check them out. I went on their particular, store and I saw some products and I said, okay, let me just, I think on Monday, he had 980 of these in stock. And on Thursday, he had 17. Do you know that I went and found that product because I'm thinking, wow, he sold almost 1,000 in a couple of days. This must be and that has been one of our top products ever since. Just a little bit of research. Just a little bit of research.
I love that one. I still remember Barrington when I found the Sheiks. Oh. And I told Barrington about this product. He's down in Jamaica, so he can't run around the home goods, and that's where I found it. And these were sheet sets. They're called Sheiks, and they were $24 selling for $167. Ooh. And you would find like probably 20 sets in every home goods. So Barrington just burning up thinking, man, I got to get my hands on these. So he called a friend, business partner in New York, and he gave her all the details. And he said, hey, go to the Home Goods. I'll pay you. What did you pay her? 10, 20 bucks on each one? You weren't cheap.
$10 on each one.
Yeah, you knew you were going to make $100 a piece. And he ended up making like $4,500 in a week. So if you're international, form these connections, these groups where people can run for you.
It's one of the best things.
Can you put yourself on camera? I feel like I'm talking to Siri.
Hold
Let's
on.
try it. Let's get back on.
Let's see if they.
We're back,
Hey, now people can see. I was getting ready to ask Siri what my next drink was going to be.
Barrington, you're hiding, partner.
No.
All right, so now let's get into a little bit about the Q4 thing. We have people asking questions here about Q4 and how it works and things like that. Let's tease them a little bit and let them know, first of all, how successful it was last year, and if you did have any issues with it at all, because I know it was a very sort of like a beta testing group last year, and you guys have tweaked it. Let them know the changes that you guys have in place so that this is going to be even more successful this year.
Well, what we have is two things. It's in the form of an exclusive Facebook group where all of the announcements, all of the webinars. It's going to be 3 announced webinars, but we're also going to have a lot of unannounced bonus. And also we have what's called the WhatsApp groups. And that's a group on your mobile phone that is going to be of about 50 persons plus about 4 admins in each group. So it's going to be 54 total. And the deals that you share are only going to be with your group. So the you share are only going to be with your group. In the Facebook group, it's just general announcements. And these groups have been like extremely successful. We had one guy who came on last year in December, and he did $100,000 in December. And he said he got one tip. It was just one tip that he had, and he ran with it, and he went to all the stores, he found them, and he cleaned up, and he made, I think it was, over $100,000. So this is not something that we're saying, hey, I wonder if this works. We've been doing this year over year over year, and we know it works. It's something that works so well. And a lot of persons would think, why would I want to share? And remember, we're not telling you to share like your core products that, hey, this is what my bread and butter, this is what I do every month for the whole year. No, we're talking about the holiday products, the ones anyway. And the reason is, persons might ask, why do you want to do that? Guess what? If I found a great product and it's at a Walmart and I'm in Florida and I cleaned out all those Walmarts, why wouldn't I share with somebody in Baltimore, Maryland? Hey, go to Walmart, find this product. I can't buy anymore physically. I'm all sold out. There's nothing I can do again but share that with somebody else, and they have the same experience. Now they're going to be like, wow, I need to tell him about this other product that I found and I bought everything, and he could do the same thing. And it just works really well. That information highway, that information shared during Q4, it works extremely well. So that's what the whole Q4 groups are all about. And then the biggest thing is encouragement. A lot of people, they have enough cash flow, but they just don't know what to buy. So it's all about building your confidence. And these groups do it very, very, very well.
You said it all, Barrington, so I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, guys. So John should be posting the link in the group, and you guys can, jump in if you haven't already done so, because it's going to be an amazing time coming up here. And one thing is we're getting started early. We're starting next week, Monday. So we're getting started early. We're supposed to be started on the 21st, but we're going to push it up. We're going to start early because people are already in the group. They're asking questions. So we want to kick this off. We want to get excited. We want to get these things rolling.
And believe me, guys, if you hop into the groups and you don't make your money back, ask for a refund. There's no risk.
I mean, it's like people have been so successful that, remember one guy, Edward Garcia, I think he paid for like 4 or 5 people for the following year. He's like, this was so successful for me that I'm going to pay for 4 or 5 people that really find it hard to get in. I'm going to pay for 4 or 5 people. And that's what he did.
Can you answer this question, Barrington? Sherry, what would you say a conservative starting budget for RA would be for Q4?
It 1,000, 1,500. It's
Yeah.
just something that you want to start and keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. So I would always say, if you don't have 1,500 to 1,000, it's good. It's just being able to turn quickly, buy again, rinse and repeat, buy again, and then with that merchant fulfill strategy, you can even be, getting paid much, much faster than waiting to send the products to Amazon.
You guys are looking for a loan too. You can
People are
try.
asking for the link.
Oh yeah, get the link out there.
Yeah, Paula, the proven Amazon Q4 plan separate from the pack course. Yes, this is only done Q4 each year, so it's only done from October to December each year.
I was going to say, if anybody's looking for a loan, there's a place called Cabbage that's really good with Amazon sellers. You can actually plug in your Amazon account if you have history and get approved just through that.
Oh, I know you did a ton of that, Lance.
I love Cabbage. I'll take any money I can get. The fees aren't too hateful. They're not bad. I mean, they're not great, but they're not bad. Cabbage changed my life.
It is my life. Is John there? We're coming to the top of the hour.
I think he's muted since we were going over the Q4 plan. Are you there, John?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna be posting this link up here a second. I'm writing a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
All right, guys. Do you have any other questions?
Excited, man. I don't think we do. What kind of record do you need for Cabbage? Sherry, you if it depends. Some people get approved with credit. They'll also approve your Amazon account too. They'll tap into your bank account. Typical things that lending companies do. But the cool thing is if somebody's not as strong in their credit or in other areas, they'll go connect right to your Amazon account. I don't know about that, Brent. I heard that some of the newer accounts can now get paid on a daily basis. I've always had that just because I have an older account. I've been doing this 10 years, so I have a everyday disbursement. Maybe ask around a couple of the groups. I'm not sure how to set that up yet. Yeah, Barrington, I can't wait, man. I love that when the cold air comes in, you hear the Christmas carols. People think about
rock and roll.
Going to a nice holiday concert. I think about driving around in a van in 6 inches of snow. You still there, Bear?
I was just looking at the other question that was posed.
I still remember while you're looking at that, there was a product that I was hunting down. I think it was the Starbucks gift sets, the one that John was talking about. This was
nice.
3 years ago. And I took a trip up to Penn State, which is like 2 hours from me, to the Penn State campus because there was a Walmart right near there. And it was so bad, the weather. I pretty much put my life on the line to get these products. I still remember driving home just like thanking God that he rewarded me for being an idiot and going all the way up there and risking my life for some products. And
All right, guys, I posted
so
the link
scary.
up.
All right, we got the link, guys. John just posted it. If you are interested in finding out more about the Q4 groups, or if you want to take the dive and come in.
One thing I can tell you guys is when they announced this last year, these groups built up so fast that I think it even shocked them how fast these groups. So if it's something that you're looking at, and they haven't talked about this, and I think this is one of the big keys to these groups or any groups. And being that I know these guys personally, and they're part of the MMA Mastermind group that my son put together, they can tell you first and forehand that yes, this is a great place to be able to source inventory with others. But I'm gonna tell you right now, more than that, and more than the price that they're charging for this, that I think is worth, is building those relationships. You're gonna come out of these groups with building relationships with people that are going to take you beyond Q4?
John, we have some groups that are still very close, and that's from a year ago. Several groups, not just one. There's so many groups that are still networking.
But I think that's the one thing that you guys need to hit on a little bit and let them understand that it's just not about the products and things that they're going to share with one another. It's about the relationships that are going to form because of you guys putting people together in these groups. It's only natural that relationships will form. Those relationships are where you're going to see your business grow tenfold.
Ada, absolutely. It just hit it on the head. She said, not only are you going to have good business partners, but you're going to meet good friends as well.
Definitely. And this goes on till December 21st, but I'm telling you guys, you're going to have relationships that could go a lot more December 21st. So that's what you want to do. You want to take advantage of building these relationships during this time. So hopefully, you know, we see you guys as a part of that. As I mentioned, we're going to be starting early. We're going to be starting next week, Monday, and we're going to be running right through the holidays. So you're going to be there with us. We're going to talk about strategies. We're going to talk about what we do. But most of all, you're going to be learning from others. And you know what? Just one tip could mean so much for you. Just one single tip. We've seen this over and over and over and over again. So, you know, guys, this is something that if you are serious about your business, take action. And thank you all so much for coming on the webinar. We really appreciate your time, and hopefully we're able to give you some good content.
Thanks, John, for having us on here, man. We really appreciate it.
Hey, it was always a pleasure having you guys on here. And like I said, guys, when they open this up, which now they're already talking about anticipating opening this up before October 21st, I can tell you that it's going to sell and sell quick. First of all, when you have Jim Corcoran behind this and all the testimonials that they had from last year, it's only natural that this is going to be a win-win for everyone, and that more and more people are going to jump on this when they open it up. So you have the opportunity tonight. No pressure sales here, but they are offering this. You do have the opportunity tonight to jump on this early before they open it up to the public. So again, this is something that they're doing for this webinar. If it's something that you've been considering or something that you feel that can help benefit and jumpstart your business, with a bunch of people that are in a group all sharing their knowledge and sharing their finds together to help one another succeed. Barrington, myself, and Lance are all about helping people. We're all about seeing people succeed. This is what this show is about, is to keep bringing guests in here that continue to provide value and continue to bring the things in here that are going to help you be successful to the best of our knowledge.
Thanks, John.
Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to an amazing Q4.
All right,
John,
guys.
somebody was asking, where's the link?
I just put it. The link. It's down a little bit, but I posted it.
I did it again, John. I did the same link that you put out, so I just put it out again.
All right, Lance, see that? We're networking here. We're all work together as a team. That's great. And
that's it, partner.
One last thing, Barrington, before we let you go. Are you my good friend in Jamaica right now or in Miami?
I'm in Jamaica right now.
Jamaica, man. We all should say a prayer for the people in the States and also for that poor country, Haiti, man. They got hit really hard.
Oh, yeah, they got hit really. I mean, we just missed it. We just missed it, but it was really, really horrific what happened in Haiti, and you know, a lot of the places up the coast, South Carolina, all those places. So it's definitely something that we wouldn't wish on anybody, because we know we experience hurricane all the time being in the tropics here.
Well, and I told Matthew, you know, he had to stay away from my good friend Barrington. So hopefully, you know, you can thank me for that one because I steered him away.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. See you.
Trying to eat right now, see how I go. No, that's so good. That's fun,